they often focus on the physical changes, overlooking the fact that the brain is also undergoing significant changes. Brain development occurs in stages, with different parts developing at different times. The brain is not fully developed until the mid-20s. The prefrontal cortex, located just behind the forehead, develops the slowest. It controls functions like planning, decision-making, and prioritizing. Another key development during adolescence is the increased importance of social relationships and interactions, which are processed by the amygdala. In teenagers, the amygdala plays a role in decision-making. This can be problematic because the emotional part of the brain, the amygdala, and the decision-making part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, are not connected and communicating properly. This disconnect explains why young adults often struggle with communicating their emotions and consequently making impulsive decisions. The amygdala also influences teens to feel societal pressure and conform to societal norms. As teens' brains continue to develop, they are often treated as adults by social media platforms. The algorithms that determine the content displayed to users rarely take into account the user's age. This can create issues as the brain is still developing and is not yet an adult brain. The prefrontal cortex, which controls impulse regulation and susceptibility to addiction, is not developed during adolescence, making adolescents especially vulnerable to addiction, including social media addiction. Furthermore, because social media provides easy access to pornography content, it can also lead to an unexpected pornography addiction. Social media has become an integral portion of everyone's lives, especially in teenagers' lives, so it's important that society understands its potentially negative impacts. The teenage years are crucial to developing life skills and the brain. Social media may inhibit some processes during the brain development and has the opportunity to amplify behavioral issues such as aggression. Young, impressionable teen minds are highly influenced by social media, often in harmful ways. Recently, there has been a decline in the cognitive functioning of the average teen, termed cognitive dysfunction. Excessive exposure to social media and screen time has been linked to attention difficulties, reduced focus, and impaired cognitive ability. In 2022, a study investigated the connection between time spent on social media and adolescent cognitive functioning, considering factors like reported screen time, sleep habits, substance use, and perceived cognitive ability. Of the 10,000 students studied, around 40% reported cognitive dysfunction, with most reporting at least 5 hours of daily screen time. Researchers concluded that excessive social media use decreases cognitive function due to reduced personal interaction and sensory deprivation. Cognitive decline, driven by frequent social media use, can also harm academic performance. Academic success is crucial for students' futures, yet many spend hours using social media instead of developing time management skills. Without these essential skills for academic success, stress reduction, and efficiency, students often fall behind in school. A study by Central Michigan University found that excessive social media and cell phone use lowers teenagers' academic performance. Constantly switching between study materials and social media distracts students and disrupts effective studying, often leading them to stay up late and submit poor quality work. In high school, where grades impact future success, strong time management and focused study habits are essential. Academics are not the only aspect of a high schooler's life that is affected by social media. Studies indicate a significant rise in depression among teenagers who spend hours on screens. While adolescents naturally face depression and anxiety, social media intensifies those symptoms. Although there is no direct link between anxiety and social media, reduced in-person interactions hinder the development of face-to-face communication skills. Social media allows young minds to curate interactions and present an idealized self. Users can hide behind a fake persona and end relationships with a click of a button. This inauthentic persona disrupts the development of essential social skills, including conflict resolution and upholding normal conversations. Social media also facilitates harmful behaviors like cyberbullying, which can severely impact mental health. Most young adults are still discovering their identities, making them susceptible to the pressures of cyberbullies. This often leads to imposter syndrome, which is a persistent self-doubt regarding one's abilities. Cyberbullying can also be subtle. It can be portrayed through people posting fake curated content to make others feel insecure about themselves. This form is more common among female users than male users, but it is prominent in both genders. Teens use social media to post about their lives, but it has become a place to post perfect content. This trend creates a standard of feeling like one needs to be perfect and causes many body insecurities. When girls see other girls presenting themselves as perfect on social media, it can cause them to pick apart their own image because they do not look like this ideal girl. This can also cause long term body image issues among the users. Social media, with its potential for promoting cyberbullying, can damage self esteem and foster negative self worth, contributing to psychological issues. The mental harm caused by social media can even lead to physical harm, as shown by rising adolescent suicide rates, which increased by 62% from 2007 to 2021. Suicide is now the leading cause of death amongst adolescents. In addition to rising suicide rates, non suicidal self harm has also been steadily increasing, affecting between 14 and 21% of teens. Social media's constant connectivity may contribute to this alarming trend. Due to rapid brain development during the teen years, impulsive behaviors are at an all time high during this period, making them a major risk for suicide. Consequently, the anxiety, depression, and cyberbullying linked to social media can significantly impact the current and future lives of young adults. They often feel vulnerable as though they do not fit in and may struggle to regulate their emotions and impulses, leading to higher rates of self harm and possibly suicide. Social media platforms use algorithms, a set of complicated mathematical equations to determine what content will be shown to users. For example, TikTok tracks every time a user likes, shares, rewatches, reposts, and favorites a video. Then the app continues to recommend and display content that the user seems to enjoy. While this may seem like an act of service from the app's developers, it is the exact opposite. Using algorithms ensures that the user enjoys the majority of the content they are seeing, therefore making it exponentially easier for the user to become addicted to the app and spend more time doom scrolling. Platforms have tried to implement age restrictions and display content to users based on age, but this system has many loopholes. For example, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Rule was implemented to protect adolescents by requiring parental confirmation of a child's age. However, many children have found ways around this requirement for involvement. Parental confirmation is simply a checkbox on the login that says, I agree to the terms and conditions. While the app's developers intended for parents to check the box, most do not. The apps have also tried to verify age by prompting users to input their birth date, but many users are not truthful. This lack of security leads the algorithm to display mature content to younger users. Access to mature content causes several long-term risks amongst teens, such as distorted views on intimacy and relationships, body image concerns, desensitization to violence, development of unrealistic expectations, and increased risky behaviors. The accessibility of mature content combined with the minimal security on platforms has contributed to a rise in porn addiction statistics. Around 35% of all internet downloads are related to pornographic content. The age at which children are exposed to porn is steadily decreasing. Among boys, it has become normal to have been exposed to porn by the age of 12, and 90% of young adults have become desensitized to porn, often avoiding attempts to stop conversations about pornography. Desensitization to pornography is a serious problem due to its effects later in life. Porn addiction can cause long-term mental health issues like anxiety, depression, sexual dysfunction, and other psychological challenges. In addition to mental health problems, porn addiction can lead to shame and dissatisfaction with life choices later on. Given the serious impact of social media, it is crucial to explore effective solutions to reduce these risks. To start, parents should be better informed about the potential dangers. Cities or counties could host biannual public information sessions open to all community members, inviting local pediatricians to share their expertise. For example, pediatricians could recommend that teens keep their phones out of their bedrooms overnight to reduce the temptation to lose sleep due to social media use. Also, they could encourage parents to monitor screen time, equip them with specific tools and strategies, and give them the confidence to enforce boundaries. Parents of children with iPhones, for instance, should take full advantage of the screen time and focus functions, which limit social media usage and the number of notifications received while studying. Additionally, organizations could offer sessions to educate parents on the importance of supporting their children, recognizing signs of cyberbullying, and identifying symptoms of addiction. From the perspective of social media app developers, artificial intelligence, or AI, could be implemented as a proactive filtering tool. AI could monitor content, creating filters to control what is posted and who can view it. For example, if a user wants to post mature content, AI could categorize it as 18 plus and restrict access to users who meet the age requirement. The problem of age verification, however, remains. While social media apps have limited options for age regulation, they could emphasize the importance of parental consent by sending a confirmation email or text to the user's parent or guardian. Parents can further manage this by setting a password on the teen's phone specifically for app downloads. This would require the parent's physical permission each time the teen wants to download a new potentially harmful app. Many, however, believe that social media provides more benefits than harm to teens and their mental health. It may seem as though teens are constantly mindlessly scrolling, but critics would venture to say that the majority of the time they are connecting with friends and family, learning more about the world around them, accessing additional educational resources, and exploring who they are as growing individuals. While concerns about overuse and negative impacts remain valid, many believe that when used mindfully, social media can be a powerful tool for growth, learning, and connection. In today's world, many Americans choose to live further from urban centers, which often means relying on cars to reach amenities and stores. As a result, children and teens tend to live farther apart from their friends and extended family, making it harder to maintain regular in person interactions. Meaningful relationships and friendships are a vital part of adolescent development, providing emotional support, a sense of belonging, and acceptance during what is often a complex and formative stage of life. Those who support unrestricted access to social media for teens believe that social media serves as a powerful tool for teens to bridge this physical distance and stay connected. For example, most platforms offer instant messaging features, allowing for real-time conversations regardless of geographic location. Additionally, social media allows users to share updates about their lives through posts, videos, and photos, fostering a sense of community even when family and friends are miles apart. The digital connectivity helps teens feel engaged and included, reinforcing the social bonds that are essential during their teenage years. During the teenage years, the brain undergoes significant changes. It becomes more aligned toward curiosity and creativity, whereas earlier in life, it focuses primarily on developing the essential functions needed for survival. Fostering creativity in teens is necessary, as research has shown a strong connection between creativity and self-esteem. Proponents in favor of increased access to social media among teens emphasize that social media platforms offer a unique opportunity for teens to connect with others and explore various ideas and creative works easily. Such exposure can ignite a spark in an adolescent's life, inspiring them to engage in new, productive, enjoyable activities. In this way, social media not only fosters creativity, but also supports the emotional and personal growth of teens, helping them navigate this transformative stage of life. As their brains develop greater creativity, teens also become more attuned to their surroundings and more conscious of how their actions and those of others affect the world around them. Thus, advocates for social media use value the significant role of social media for increasing awareness by exposing teens to a diverse range of experiences and viewpoints beyond what they encounter in their environment. Through online platforms, they gained insight into other people's struggles, global environmental challenges, and cultural perspectives that might otherwise remain hidden in their daily lives. This exposure not only broadens their worldview, but it also fosters empathy, critical thinking, and a sense of social responsibility. While social media can provide opportunities for connection and learning, research indicates that it also contributes to anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem. Although social media helps bridge physical distances, it may also diminish the importance of face-to-face interactions. Adolescents who heavily rely on digital communication might struggle to develop essential social skills, such as reading body language, understanding tone, and navigating real-world interpersonal conflicts. Over time, this can negatively affect their ability to form deep, meaningful relationships outside of the virtual world. While social media offers exposure to various perspectives and global issues, this constant influx of information can be overwhelming for teens. Being bombarded with news about environmental crises, political tensions, and social injustices can lead to stress, anxiety, and a sense of helplessness. Without proper guidance how to process such information, teens may feel burdened by problems that seem beyond their control, ultimately harming their mental well-being. Although social media platforms can inspire creativity, much of the content consumed by teens is passive and mindless, such as endless doom scrolling through videos meant to entertain or memes. Teens spend an average of 9 hours per day rather than on social media. Rather than focusing creativity, this type of engagement can promote distraction and procrastination, reducing time spent on more meaningful creative pursuits or real-world activities that support personal growth. The tragic story of CJ is not the only story that has had to end in suicide due to the negative effects of social media on teenagers' minds and bodies. Suicide is now the second leading cause of death amongst the teenage population. Social media has been and continues to be used as a weapon in the teenage world. Whether it is a war on the mind or on the body, teenagers' lives are at stake. We must limit the dangers that come with social media by restricting and regulating it, as well as raising awareness amongst parents, teachers, and government officials. In Gainesville, Georgia, a 12-year-old girl named Maria Perez Gomez went missing for 2 whole months. It was later discovered that she met her kidnapper through instant messaging on Facebook. This 34-year-old man persuaded little Maria to leave her house because she was unhappy at home. Maria was found 2 months later, 70 miles south of Cleveland, Ohio. Her kidnapper is now being held in jail with no bond. These types of kidnapping activities are now much more common because of the widespread communication that social media allows for. 30% of trafficking survivors report that they were recruited through some form of social media. Therefore, it is imperative that parents, teachers, and peers do their best to keep teens safe. The mental harm caused to teens due to social media is incredibly high, and so are the physical repercussions. It is important for parents to educate their children about how to stay safe on social media, advocate for reform, and monitor their activity. For any teens wondering how they could support their peers better, find ways to connect outside of social media and encourage your friends during hard times. Social media has many negative impacts on the teenage brain, so the content should be filtered and regulated, and the age requirement should be raised. Thank you.
Only be over by 7 seconds is amazing. I might say cut out, like try to make like a paragraph more concise, not necessarily cut out any information. Kind of rephrase some things to give you a chance for some pauses here and there, and because you're so close to time, because your pace is good.
Okay.
So literally because your pace is good, you're not too fast, not too slow. There may can be some more room for pauses, or in case you have to get a sip of water, or in case you have to sit there and think a little bit, because right now you're reading it. So you kind of want to build in a little bit more time for a buffer in case all those things. So I don't know if we need to cut down half a page or a page, probably, and just try to make it more concise. But your movement is you're paced really well. I mean, I can hear you perfectly. Obviously, you'll have more vocal variety as you're not, you memorize it better. So I'm not judging you on that type of stuff. But yeah, I'm very happy that you only went over 7 minutes. This is a good start.
Okay. Thank you.
I mean, seven
Yes.
seconds. 7 seconds.
It was entertaining.
So write your
too.
time down.
Okay.
I usually
Yeah.
fall asleep.
And I'll let you
during
adjust your paper for me.
like
I'm not gonna have to like resubmit it to me again or anything like that.
Okay.
So
Ajay?
it's not like you're changing like you're just making it more concise. Huh? It was due this morning.
No, that was a rough draft.
Due at the beginning of class. What?
She's asking about the final draft.
It's